Yes. Okay. Um, yeah, I had a lot of technical issues, but I got my background right this time. So let me just get right into it. I was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. It's now 4:38. This time I've got my microphone set up so it should be sounding a lot better than the last live stream. Um, I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow morning. I found something really awesome that I'll probably be doing. I'm doing this live stream on my Windows 10 tablet, which is a complete, absolute nightmare disaster. Um, I tried other tablets. I can live stream from my Android phone, which I can have up on there. And I'm going to probably be doing a lot of live streams from my phone. But as far as live streaming from my tablets, forget it. This is just not working out. I want to see if the chat is working here. I'm going to try typing something in. Let's see. Let's see if it works. Okay. All right. The chat is open. Okay. Yeah, as I got my soft light right over here, like I was explaining last time, what I need is to get another softbox. I'm still pictures after this, and I'm going to show you my setup and how small it is. But at least I got the background the way I want, completely in the frame. So, uh, um, yeah, I got my hat on because my hair, I've been wearing I have to have my uh, heater, air, because of my electric bill. I've got a lot of things turned off, so it's most of the time it's really freezing. I'm down here in the lower level, and even though it's really not too uh, not too cold out, it's still cold in here. Except for now, I'm sitting right under my soft box, and it's hotter than hell in here now. So anyway, what I want to talk about is thumbnails. We'll get into that in a minute. What I found earlier on the internet is something called Studio 10, something like that. But I'm going to do a video on that, and it works a lot better than OBS. I'm going to do the free version. But there's more for like $20 a month. You get a lot more stuff, but I'm going to start out with the free version there. You just get in there and it has everything all set up. So that's for tomorrow's video. So let's get into thumbnails. For me, yeah, I'm going to edit this thumbnail tomorrow, but for me, I like to have three components. Either a face image, with then a logo, and then text. And then the key thing is to make sure in the lower right-hand part of the frame, you want to leave that blank for the timestamp. What drives me away is like a lot of these really crazy. When I first started making thumbnails, I make all my thumbnails on GIMP now. And sometimes on my Android apps, there's some pretty good apps, and I'll fire off a quick thumbnail from one of my apps that I send to Drive. And then I do further editing on GIMP when I get on my laptop. But I like to change it around a little bit, the location of where where I have my face, and then the logo, and then the text. And the biggest thing for me is I'm still working different, because I like to see how different types of fonts work, and what has really worked well for me. But in talking to other people, because of what they do, the colors don't really work for them. But for me, I like to have a yellow font with a black 3D like shape to it, and I do all that with GIMP. Now there's a way to make 3D text in Android apps. There's apps for that too. and so I do some of that. Um, Also, sometimes one of my better performing videos actually was about Google's terms of service, and that was just that had no logo, uh, um, no logo, no face. It was just a green, solid green background, and then with text. And I had the word urgent on there. And um, I got the idea from Brian G. Johnson as far as how the green background and all that. And and just after I did that video, he did a video that was talking about how to use a certain word or certain thing to draw. And urgent was the word that I used. And I'm still getting and it is my it's my most popular video, and I'm still getting comments on that today because it is still relevant, and because the new Google uh, servers are going into effect in a couple days. Um, I did that video about I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I imagine after April kicks in, and probably by the time by the end of April, that video will probably be dying down once all the new Google uh, terms of service are in effect. But um, I saw that when I logged into Google one day. I saw it on the banner, kind of like what YouTube has when they have it. And I saw that, and I thought, oh, okay, I got to do a video on this. This is pretty important. And I did a video the next day, created the thumbnail. Now, sometimes on my thumbnails, there's an effect called satin, and that's available in GIMP. And what I do is depending on what it is, but I sometimes I use red satin. Um, but basically, I'm using green. I'm finding green for whatever reason, green seems to work a lot better. I've done the red backgrounds just with text when I wanted to get an urgent message out, and that works, but not as good as green. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the color green, that sort of thing. Um, but really, primarily, what I see is a lot of people trying to jam too many things into, because that's what I did when I first got onto GIMP. I wanted to put as much stuff in the thumbnail as possible, but by the time, and especially if you're doing that, and especially if you're looking on a smaller device, uh, it's a big giant mess. And if I see something like that, I don't even bother clicking on it. I like to know what I'm clicking on. So um, and that's why sometimes a lot of people have, and I've been guilty of this, the smaller font size, and then which looks good on some things, but when you get down onto a small phone, you you got to get like a microscope to read it, and nobody's going to click on that. Um, uh, so it's just a base. Um, it's just a matter of putting the objects on there. And the key thing is to make sure. Another thing, when you text, I try to. I don't really have the full title in the thumbnail. I like to use some of the words in the title, because if you try and put the whole title uh, on the thumbnail, that's just too much text, and it creates it just makes everything messy. So in other words, if you're saying how to um, cook a certain recipe in 30 minutes or less or something, um, um, I would have something like how to cook, you know, whatever you're cooking, and then quickly. Um, or fast or something like that. So it's not really the whole thumbnail, but it's getting to the point that oh, um, I can cook something fast, and you're not straying away from uh, the main topic. That the biggest thing is to have the thumbnail coincide with the title and coincide with the description, and then have the actual video itself, the content, have them all match. Because if one of those things are, if your thumbnail is directing you to content that's totally not even what the thumbnail is talking about, then, well, that's, first of all, that's a violation of YouTube policy, because that's misleading, and it's kind of spammy, clickbait, whatever you want to do it. Um, uh, there's, I hate the term clickbait, because the idea of a thumbnail is to get people to click on it, to make it good, have a good quality thumbnail, so people click on it. My definition of clickbait is having a really good thumbnail, something that's attractive, that they click on it, and then you're taken to something totally different. To me, that is clickbait, and that's garbage. But if you have a really unattractive thumbnail and you have quality content, well, that's no good either. See, so you really do need to have thumbnails that are going to be attractive to click on. And it's just really important to make sure that your thumbnails match the content of what you're talking about. Well, this is, it's been, I was supposed to start this at 4. It's already 4:50. So I'm going to wind down now. It's just been really frustrating, and I'm not too happy about things, but I know how I'm going to be doing things differently. It looks like I'm going to be doing more live streams, because I can do this with the setup with my phone on the tripod. It'll be a lot easier. I already know what the sound quality is. I can have it up higher. My background will be right. Doing it this way, the way I've done it now, is just, it's not worth it. I thought it was going to work. I can do live streams from my other Android tablet. What I will be doing as far as live streams on that is, I'll be doing more of a live screen. I'll be doing more like tutorials of various things, and you'll be hearing and I have like little face cam, and I'll be doing that out in the front room. I won't need to have all this background set up. So that I will be doing different kinds of live streams like this from my regular laptop. Just bring my laptop over to my desk here where I'm at, back here, and then just plug in and just go. But I'm not gonna. I set my live stream up to have a announcement. But the thing is, you need to have the third party stream, and that's going to be part of what tomorrow's video is about. I've got a whole thing scheduled for tomorrow. It's not a live stream. It's going to be a regular video where I'll get onto OBS, and I will show you what I'm talking about. The setup is just, it took me less than 10 minutes to set up. This was just like, I was fighting with all this for about 45 minutes. It's dinner time here. I'm hungry. I'm pissed. And anyway, well, I'm going to get out of here and have a good day.